do that again.
I love that.
For the bright side of branding, business, and being your own boss. Hey boss, it's Sunny, and welcome to the Sunny Show for the bright side of branding, business, and being your own boss. But you know what? Being your own boss is kind of hard sometimes. It's not always the easiest. And in my nearly a decade of running my own business, I have learned one lesson over and over again. Change your mindset, change your business. I could sit here and share all of the tactical tools and tips and tricks, and I do if you go back and watch my other videos, but today I wanted to share with you 8 mindset changes that I've made that completely shifted my business for the better, and they'll do the same for you. So mindset shift number 1 is so important. Abundance versus scarcity. When you're first starting a business and you're diving into being an entrepreneur, it's really easy to get into a scarcity mindset of, how am I going to pay my bills?
How am I going to get
more clients?
What if I lose my house?
What if my family leaves me? What if I have no money? What if I never make any money? And further down the rabbit hole we can go, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to choose to think in the abundance mindset and realize that there is a more than enough opportunities for your business and for everyone else out there. So here are 2 practical ways to implement the abundance versus scarcity mindset into your business. So the first way is competition versus collaboration. So you want to go the collaboration route versus the competition route, because if you're looking at everyone in your space and thinking it's so saturated and that you can't possibly break through, especially as a new entrepreneur, of course you're going to get in a mindset of, I'm never going to make any money. Instead, what you want to do is look at everybody who's in your space as a potential collaborator for you, whether you're making content with them or you're doing a guest blog for them. Look for opportunities to work with people in your space, big, small, maybe they're just starting out and they need some help growing their brand. Because here's the thing, when you choose to collaborate versus compete with people, you're actually opening yourself up to their audience, which is a similar target audience to you, and they're doing the same. So you're both growing your business and you're both benefiting from the relationship. So realize that competing is only going to lead you to dark, bad places, but collaborating is going to grow your business and grow your audience. Now, the second way to implement the abundance mindset into your business is realizing that value equals value. I get asked all the time, why do you give away so much free information? Because I have realized that the more you give and the more generous you are, the more you're going to get in return. So for example, when I first started my YouTube channel, and you can go back and look at my first couple of tutorials, they're mini courses. I didn't even know that digital programs and courses were a thing when I started my channel, and I just thought it was so cool. Thousands of people were benefiting from my videos and finding me in search. So I just gave so much information in my videos, and they were long and detailed and lengthy, as they still are. But now I'm a little more strategic with how I actually structure my videos to benefit my business, and that's all a learning curve. So just start by giving away as much information as possible, because here's the thing. People are still going to want to pay you to do it for them. The majority of people are going to look for the answer from you, but you are going to be positioning yourself as the expert by giving away knowledgeable information and giving away expert advice. And so ultimately, if people can pay you to do the job for you and do what you're an expert at, they're going to choose that route versus doing it themselves. So instead of saying, look what I can do, and making it about yourself, say, look what I can do for you. And that's why tutorials are such a great place to start, and education is such a great content tier to start with when you're trying to build your business and trying to create content for your business on social media. So remember that the more you give and the more value you create with your content online, the more you're going to get in return and the more of a magnet you're going to be for your target audience. So mindset shift number 2 is saying no more than you say yes. And I know when you start a business, you want to say yes to everything because you think everything is an opportunity for exposure and to grow your business. But here's the thing. You're going to wake up one day like I did and go, oh crap, I've been so busy saying yes to meetings and requests and interviews and all these different things and saying yes to clients that weren't really a fit for me, that were sucking my energy and my time, that I wasn't able to actually focus on building my business. So I'm not saying go into hiding. I'm not saying say no to everything. I'm saying qualify the things that come your way, because you have to say no to the wrong opportunities in order to make space for the right opportunities. So I have 3 criteria and 3 questions I ask myself whenever an opportunity comes my way. And they are, is this going to be a relationship that will serve both parties in the future? Is this going to be a long-term relationship, basically? The second criteria is, will this bring positive exposure for my business? Is this interview or podcast or whatever it may be, or guest blog post, going to expose my business to a similar target audience and ultimately potential customers? And is this opportunity aligned with my brand is the third question you want to ask, because you want to make sure you're only doing things and only saying yes to things that are absolutely aligned with your brand, so you can build credibility as a business from day one. If the answer is no, then just say no and let it go and make the space for the right things. Mindset shift number 3 is that the customer is always right. Whether you get horrible feedback or positive feedback, and I know this can hurt the ego and it's hurt mine in the past, truly the customer is always right. And what do I mean by that? Okay, if someone's just being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole, that doesn't count. That's a different story. But you want to look at every single piece of feedback that you get, no matter where it's coming from, and look for the opportunity for growth in them, because bad feedback is actually one of the best assets for your business, and it's where you're going to learn the most and be able to make the most positive changes. So try, when you get feedback, to take your ego out of the equation and look at things from a different point of view and look at it as a growth opportunity, whether it's positive or negative. Pay attention to the trends and the data and the information you're getting from your customers, because they generally will tell you exactly where you need to go with your business and exactly what they want from you. And the more you can cater to their wants and needs, the more you're going to differentiate yourself in your marketplace, and the more sales you're going to be able to make. Mindset shift number 4 is that everyone, and I truly mean everyone, is reachable. Thank you to the wonderful world of social media for making every single person that you want to get in touch with reachable. You really need to shift your mindset to believe that if there's someone in your space that you want to work with or that you want to get the attention of, there is a will and a way to make that happen. So my best tip for you, and a little homework out of this, is to sit down today and write down 5 people, big or small, that you want to get in touch with, and spend an hour following them on all of their social platforms and finding their contact information, maybe through their website or through other contacts you have in the industry. I am telling you, everybody is reachable. So the best thing you can do is start following these people, start building relationships by supporting them, and again, adding value to them by sharing their content and asking them questions and giving them kudos to get on their radar, and eventually that will turn into a mutually beneficial relationship and they will take notice of you. So do that homework, write down those 5 people, start building the relationship today. And I can tell you firsthand that I've done this at least on 3 instances with people I thought were so out of reach. And then I was able to have a conversation with Gary Vaynerchuk at South by Southwest, because for 6 years I had been building a relationship through social media and supporting his content. And I was able to say, hey, thank you so much for what you do, and possibly get on his radar and have a face-to-face interaction. I also was able to interview Lewis Howes for my YouTube channel and meet him when he came to Vancouver. And I was able to get on Mastin Kipp's podcast. All things that a year ago I would have said, you're insane, that's never gonna happen. But because I built relationships that were beneficial to them, and I supported them, and I provided value to them by supporting their content, engaging with them, it turned into an opportunity. So everyone is reachable, I promise. Mindset shift number 5 is ask for forgiveness later. This is one of my personal favorites because running a business is difficult to begin with, and if you have to wait for permission for every single move and thing that you want to do, you are going to slow down your momentum. So my belief is that you just have to do things, and if you have to apologize for it later and take accountability for it later. But for the most part, it's the rule breakers and the disruptors that are going to get noticed the fastest and are going to grow the fastest. So do the things and just see what happens. But at least you're doing it and you're not waiting for permission from anyone else to get started. Moving on to number 6, believe it or not, I know there's a lot of these, but they're all equally important. And this one is all about finding the solution and not focusing on the problem. I can't tell you how valuable this is in running a business. The last thing that you need to do is if a problem arises or if you make a mistake, you sit there, you feel sorry for yourself, and you dwell on the problem. Ain't nobody got time for that. So you gotta just move on. You have to get up, dust yourself off, find the solution, fix it, and move forward as quickly as possible. Because as an entrepreneur and running your own business, you don't have time to sit there and feel sorry for yourself and dwell on the past. You just have to figure out how to fix it, how to find the solution, and move forward. And now we move on to 7. We're almost there, guys. I know there's a lot. In 7, the 7th mindset shift, we're talking about how to figure things out because you will figure it out. I promise you. Thanks to Google and thanks to social media and thanks to YouTube, you can find the answer to pretty much anything. So if you're sitting there frustrated one day and thinking, I have no idea how to do this in my business, I've never had to do this before, I'm overwhelmed, this is never gonna happen. We have all been there, I have been there, but the more research you do, the faster you're going to get to the answer. So realize that you're teachable, you're coachable, and you absolutely can figure anything that you need to figure out in your business, and figure it out. And if you don't want to do that and you don't want to take the time to figure it out all by yourself, thank goodness it's so easy to hire people these days. Whether you hire somebody as a freelancer or a full-time employee to take care of something in your business, either way, you will figure it out. Finally, and this is really important and it might sound really weird, the 8th mindset shift is blame yourself. Seriously, blame yourself for everything. So if a mistake happens in my business, whether I made the mistake or someone who works with me made the mistake, I take full accountability because I realize that maybe I didn't communicate something correctly or there's an improvement in the systems and processes of our business that needs to be made so that mistake doesn't happen in the future, and that falls on my shoulders. And the best part about this is when I take accountability, everybody who works with me feels the same way, and I empower the people that I work with to be their own bosses. Ironically, everyone in the business is their own boss, so we all live by the rule of we are accountable for everything that we do. So the faster that you can get up again and find the solution and take accountability for what happened and move forward, the faster your business is going to grow. So in our team, we fail fast, we get up, we figure out the solution, and we blame ourselves and take full accountability so that we can learn and we can move forward faster. Finally, you have the mindset shifts, but maybe you need a little extra support. So I put together a Slay Your Fears survival kit, and you can pick that up below this video. Just grab the link and download a copy for yourself to work through. So you have all the support in place to slay those fears and slay it in your business. And this entrepreneurship thing is not easy to do alone, so make sure you join the Be Your Own Boss Mastermind group on Facebook. It is totally free, and there's over 10,000 entrepreneurs in there waiting to help support you in growing your business on your terms. And be sure to head to the byoboss.store to grab your BYO Boss swag. And also make sure to head to @BYO_boss on Instagram for daily boss tips and inspiration. If you like this video, hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
The Sun Show.